Prince Salman's three sons just became the richest kids on the planet. We're talking $25 billion inheritance each, $1.4 trillion family fortune, $500 million super yachts, $450 million Leonardo da Vinci paintings, and $300 million French castles. These Saudi princes didn't just win the genetic lottery, they inherited pure liquid gold. Let's explore their empire. The world's wealthiest children. Picture this. While most children around the world are asking their parents for pocket money to buy candy or the latest video game, there are three young princes in Saudi Arabia who will one day inherit a fortune so vast it could literally buy entire countries. These aren't just any ordinary children, making them quite possibly the richest kids on planet Earth. Their names are Prince Salman, Prince Mashour, and Prince Abdulaziz, three young boys who were born not with silver spoons, but with diamond-encrusted golden spoons in their mouths. While their exact ages remain closely guarded secrets, what we do know is that these children are growing up in a world of unimaginable luxury, surrounded by wealth that dwarfs the combined fortunes of tech billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And with that kind of wealth, you can only imagine the kind of places they call home. The Al Yamama Palace in Riyadh, which spans an incredible 4 million square feet, serves as the family's primary residence. To put this in perspective, this single palace is larger than 92 football fields combined. Built in 1983, this isn't just a residence, it's a testament to human architectural ambition taken to its absolute extreme. Walking through the Al Yamama Palace is like stepping into a fever dream of luxury. The floors are made of Italian marble, while gold-plated fixtures catch the light throughout countless corridors. But this isn't just about expensive materials. This palace contains amenities that most people couldn't even imagine. There's a fully equipped movie theater where these princes can watch films in privacy that surpasses what most Hollywood stars experience. There's a bowling alley for entertainment, and even a mosque for spiritual reflection, all contained within their home. But the Al Yamama Palace is just the beginning of their real estate empire. Mohammed bin Salman purchased the Chateau Louis XV in France for an eye-watering $300 million, making it one of the most expensive residential purchases in human history. This isn't just a house, it's a 23-hectare estate that includes 7,000 square meters of constructed space and 5,000 square meters of living space. The property features a gold-leafed fountain that probably costs more than most people's entire homes, exotic marble imported from around the world, and bronze fittings that were crafted by master artisans. The psychological impact of growing up in such environments cannot be overstated. Imagine being a child where your bedroom might be larger than most people's entire apartments, where walking from one end of your home to the other requires planning like a small expedition. These princes are growing up in spaces so vast that they could literally get lost in their own homes. But homes are just the beginning. Let's talk about how they'll travel. The family owns a Boeing 747-400 that has been completely converted into a flying mansion. This isn't just a private jet, this is a commercial airliner that has been gutted and redesigned to serve as a mobile palace. The aircraft features multiple bedrooms, each designed with the kind of luxury that five-star hotels aspire to achieve. The bathrooms are gold-plated because apparently, when you have this level of wealth, even the most private moments must be surrounded by precious metals. For water travel, Mohammed bin Salman owns the Serene super yacht, valued at an astronomical $500 million. This floating palace stretches 134 meters and features not one but two helipads because apparently having just one helicopter landing pad on your yacht is for peasants. The yacht includes underwater viewing chambers, allowing passengers to observe marine life from the comfort of ultra-luxurious suites that would make most five-star hotels weep with envy. The Serene isn't just a yacht, it's a statement about what's possible when money becomes truly no object. Every surface has been crafted by master artisans, every room designed to exceed the boundaries of what most humans consider luxurious. The princes who will inherit this vessel will have access to a mobile resort that can take them anywhere in the world while maintaining a level of comfort that rivals the finest palaces on land. But let's talk about something that might seem more relatable: cars. Except when we're discussing the vehicles these princes will inherit. We're not talking about cars in any conventional sense. Family member Turki bin Abdullah owns a car collection valued at $22 million, including a gold-plated Lamborghini Aventador SV that costs $1.2 million. This single vehicle costs more than most people will earn in their entire lifetimes, and it's just one car in a collection that includes Rolls-Royce Phantom coupes, Mercedes vehicles and Bentleys that each carry price tags exceeding $1.2 million. The concept of gold-plating a Lamborghini speaks to a level of wealth where even the most expensive luxury goods must be further enhanced to feel special. When a $500,000 supercar isn't exclusive enough, you cover it in gold. When owning one luxury luxury vehicle isn't sufficient, you own collections worth more than most small businesses. Perhaps nowhere is their future wealth more dramatically displayed than in their art collection. Mohammed bin Salman purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi for $450 million in 2017, making it the most expensive painting ever sold at auction. This single purchase demonstrates a level of collecting that transcends mere wealth. This is about owning pieces of human cultural heritage that are literally irreplaceable. The acquisition of Salvator Mundi wasn't just a purchase. It was a statement that money can buy even the most precious artifacts of human civilization. The family also owns works by Pablo Picasso, Jeff Koons, and Takashi Murakami, creating an art collection that rivals those of major museums. These princes aren't just inheriting paintings, they're inheriting pieces of human creative achievement that most people will only ever see in museums. The scale of luxury extends to their vacation experiences as well. A typical royal vacation can cost $30 million, such as a Maldives trip where they took over 3 entire resorts. This isn't about booking expensive hotel rooms. This is about purchasing exclusive access to entire resort properties, ensuring that their vacation experience is completely private and tailored to their exact specifications. King Salman's 3-week holiday in Cannes created such a spectacle that they enjoyed exclusive access to premium locations and luxury amenities. Imagine having so much wealth and influence that your family vacation becomes a showcase of ultimate luxury and exclusivity. This is the level of impact that these princes' future travels will have on the world around them. The family also owns a 12,000-hectare Limpopo game farm in South Africa that has been converted into an exclusive hunting resort with a private landing strip for jets. This property represents the kind of land ownership that approaches the scale of small countries, a private kingdom within a country, accessible only by private aircraft, and designed solely for the family's recreational use. The infrastructure required to support their lifestyle is perhaps as impressive as the luxury goods themselves. The royal family employs thousands of servants and staff, supported by a stipend system that costs approximately $2 billion annually. This means that the simple act of maintaining their lifestyle requires an annual budget that exceeds the GDP of many nations. Stipends range from $800 monthly for distant relatives to $200,000, $270,000 monthly for senior family members, with additional bonuses of $1 million to $3 million for marriages and palace construction. For the princes, this means growing up in an environment where hundreds, possibly thousands of people exist solely to anticipate and fulfill their needs. This level of service creates a reality where these young princes may never experience the mundane aspects of daily life that the rest of humanity takes for granted. They may never know what it feels like to wait for anything, to want something they cannot have, or to understand that resources are finite. Their reality is one where human limitations simply don't apply. The combined value of these assets, the palaces, the transportation, the art, the land, the infrastructure, represents wealth that has moved beyond mere luxury into something approaching the resources of nation-states. These 3 princes aren't just inheriting expensive things, they're inheriting the physical manifestation of economic power that could reshape industries and influence global markets. Their wardrobe alone represents a fortune that most people couldn't comprehend. Custom-made clothing from the world's finest designers, jewelry collections that include pieces worth more than luxury homes, and accessories that are literally one-of-a-kind creations made exclusively for royalty. Every thread they wear, every watch on their wrist, every piece of jewelry they own represents craftsmanship and materials that push the boundaries of what's possible in luxury goods. The educational opportunities available to these princes extend far beyond traditional schooling. They have access to private tutors who are world-renowned experts in their fields. Educational experiences that include traveling to historical sites with leading archaeologists and learning opportunities that most universities couldn't provide. Their education budget alone probably exceeds the endowments of major institutions. But even after the palaces, the super yachts, the jets, the gold-plated cars, the rare art, and the private kingdoms they call vacation spots, we've only scratched the surface. Now let's talk about just how astronomical their wealth really is. The family's wealth. These 3 princes are direct heirs to the House of Saud's collective net worth of approximately $1.4 trillion, a fortune so incomprehensibly massive that it's literally 16 times richer than the entire British royal family's wealth combined. To put this into perspective, if you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you nearly 4,000 years to spend their family's collective fortune. That's longer than recorded human history. The sheer scale of wealth we're talking about here is something that challenges the very limits of human imagination. When most most people think about generational wealth, they might picture a trust fund worth a few $1 million, maybe tens of millions for the truly privileged. But Prince Salman, Prince Mashour and Prince Abdulaziz are inheriting wealth that operates on an entirely different plane of existence. Wealth that could reshape entire economies, fund space programs, or quite literally purchase small nations. Their father, Mohammed bin Salman, has consolidated this incredible fortune through his control over Saudi Arabia's vast oil reserves, managed through Saudi Aramco, the world's most valuable company. But it doesn't stop there. The Public Investment Fund, which MBS chairs, manages over $650 billion in assets, including stakes in global giants like Uber, SoftBank and Citigroup. This means that these three young princes aren't just inheriting oil money, they're inheriting pieces of the global economy itself. What makes their situation even more extraordinary is the level of privacy that surrounds their lives. While their names were identified in recent reports, the family maintains strict privacy for younger members, shielding them from the public eye in ways that even other royal families cannot match. These children are growing up in a bubble of privilege so complete, so all-encompassing, that they may never truly understand what it means to want for anything, ever. But their inheritance isn't just about money in bank accounts or investment portfolios. These three princes are set to inherit a lifestyle that redefines the very concept of luxury. We're talking about palaces that span millions of square feet, private jets that have been converted into flying mansions, super yachts that cost more than most countries' annual budgets, and art collections that include some of the most valuable pieces in human history. The cultural impact of their upbringing extends far beyond material possessions. These young princes are being raised in an environment where they regularly interact with world leaders, tech innovators, entertainment moguls, and cultural icons. Their childhood dinner conversations likely involve discussions about global business ventures and cultural initiatives that will shape the future of human civilization. While most children are learning about geography from textbooks, these princes are learning about it from the people who are actively reshaping the world map through economic and cultural influence. The psychological impact of growing up with such unprecedented wealth is something that fascinates sociologists and psychologists worldwide. How do you develop a sense of normal human values when your normal includes servants whose sole job is to anticipate your every need? How do you relate to other children when your allowance could fund entire schools? How do you understand the value of money when your family's wealth literally grows by millions of dollars while you sleep? The Saudi royal family operates a stipend system that costs approximately $2 billion annually, with payments ranging from hundreds of dollars for distant relatives to hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly for senior family members. For Mohammed bin Salman's sons, their allowances will likely exceed what most CEOs earn in entire years, and this will be just their spending money, not their actual inheritance. What's perhaps most remarkable about their situation is that they're not just inheriting static wealth. They're inheriting wealth that continues to grow exponentially. Every day that passes, every barrel of oil that Saudi Arabia pumps from the ground, every successful investment made by the Public Investment Fund adds to their future inheritance. While other children are learning to save their allowances, these three princes are watching their future fortunes grow by millions of dollars without lifting a finger. The implications of their wealth extend far beyond personal luxury. As members of the Saudi royal family, they are being raised in an environment that exposes them to global leaders, business tycoons, and cultural icons, potentially shaping them to become future leaders in philanthropy, governance, or business. Their education isn't just about mathematics and literature. It's about understanding how to wield influence on a global scale. The story of Prince Salman, Prince Mashour, and Prince Abdulaziz isn't just about money. It's about power, influence, and the kind of generational wealth that has the potential to impact millions of lives. As they grow up in their golden bubble, protected from the realities that govern ordinary human existence, they represent something unprecedented in human history. Children whose inheritance could theoretically make them more powerful than most world leaders. What makes their story even more extraordinary is the timing of their birth. These three princes are coming of age during a period of unprecedented global transformation. While previous generations of Saudi royalty built their fortunes primarily on oil extraction, these young heirs are inheriting an empire that's actively diversifying into technology, entertainment, sports, and renewable energy. Their father's Vision 2030 isn't just about economic transformation. It's about positioning Saudi Arabia as a global superpower across multiple industries. Consider the implications of growing up with access to resources that most nations can only dream of. While other children learn about money through piggy banks and small allowances, these princes are witnessing firsthand how billion-dollar investments can reshape entire industries. They're not just learning arithmetic, they're observing how mathematical calculations involving hundreds of billions of dollars can determine the economic fate of entire countries. power, succession, and a $1.4 trillion family fortune. The question of succession in Saudi Arabia represents one of the most intriguing aspects of these young princes' futures. Traditionally, leadership has passed among the sons of King Abdulaziz, the founder of modern Saudi Arabia, but Mohammed bin Salman is expected to be the first grandson of Ibn Saud to assume the throne. This represents a seismic shift in the power structure of one of the world's most influential families, and it positions his sons as potential future leaders in ways that would have been unimaginable just a generation ago. What makes their potential future roles even more remarkable is the transformation that Saudi Arabia is undergoing under their father's leadership. Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 initiative, which includes projects like Eniom, a futuristic city that represents the future of urban development, suggests that these princes may inherit not just a traditional oil-based economy, but a diversified, technologically advanced nation that could dominate multiple industries in the coming decades. The scale of this transformation cannot be understated. The Public Investment Fund, which their father chairs, manages over $650 billion in assets and includes stakes in global companies like Citigroup, Twitter, and Uber. This means that these three young princes aren't just potentially inheriting control over Saudi Arabia's oil reserves, they're potentially inheriting influence over significant portions of the global economy. Consider the business education required for such responsibility. While other children are learning to manage allowances and complete homework assignments, these three princes are being raised in an environment where they observe firsthand how decisions made in Saudi palaces can impact global oil prices, influence international markets, and affect the economies of nations around the world. Their education isn't just about academic subjects, it's about understanding how to wield economic influence that operates on a scale most humans can barely comprehend. Research suggests they are being raised with exposure to global leaders, business tycoons, and cultural icons, potentially shaping them to become future leaders in philanthropy, innovation, governance, or business. This isn't accidental. This is systematic preparation for roles that could influence the economic well-being of millions of people across multiple continents. The implications of their inheritance extend far beyond Saudi Arabia's borders. The House of Saud's $1.4 trillion collective net worth makes them significantly wealthier than the British royal family's $88 billion and dwarfs the wealth of other prominent families worldwide. Their family's resources exceed the GDP of most countries, giving them economic influence that rivals that of entire nations. This level of wealth creates unique opportunities for the next generation. These princes are growing up in an era where their family's decisions about investment strategies can influence global markets, where their business choices can determine the success or failure of major international companies, and where their economic partnerships can reshape trade relationships between world powers. The educational implications of their inheritance are staggering. While most children learn about economics from textbooks, these princes are learning about it by observing how their family's decisions create real-world economic impacts. While other students study international business in theory, these young princes are witnessing firsthand how global commerce operates at the highest levels. But perhaps most fascinating is what their inheritance means for the future of wealth itself. Some estimates suggest that Mohammed bin Salman's influence over economic assets could be valued at $500 billion, representing a combination of personal wealth and economic stewardship that positions the family as one of the most influential economic forces in the world. The technological investments that will shape their inheritance are equally impressive. The Eniom project represents just one example of how their family is positioning itself for the future. This futuristic city, designed to showcase cutting-edge technology and sustainable development, suggests that these princes may inherit leadership over one of the world's most technologically advanced economic zones. Their future roles may include business leadership positions similar to Prince Khalid bin Salman, their father's brother, who holds significant governmental responsibilities, or involvement in economic initiatives that will determine Saudi Arabia's position in the global economy for decades to come. The preparation for such roles requires an understanding of complex financial systems that most adults never encounter. The global nature of their inheritance cannot be overstated. The family owns properties in London, Paris, and New York, creating an international network of assets that spans multiple continents. Their investments reach into virtually every major economy, making them stakeholders in the success of companies and industries around the world. What makes their story even more compelling is that they represent a new generation of Saudi leadership that may approach business and economics differently than previous generations. Growing up in an era of global connectivity, social media, and international commerce, these princes are being shaped by economic forces that their predecessors never experienced. The philanthropic potential of their inheritance is enormous. The family has funded charitable organizations and pledged millions to initiatives like economic development projects. With their level of resources, these three princes could theoretically fund massive infrastructure projects, support technological innovation that could benefit millions, or invest in educational initiatives that could transform societies. The entertainment and cultural investments available to them represent another dimension of their wealth. From owning sports teams to funding major cultural events, from investing in entertainment companies to creating entirely new forms of media, their resources could allow them to shape global culture and entertainment in unprecedented ways. Their potential impact on sustainable development and green technology is particularly interesting. With the world moving toward renewable energy, these princes could use their inherited wealth to become major players in the green economy, potentially transforming not just their own country's economic model, but influencing global environmental initiatives. The space industry represents another frontier where their wealth could have transformative impact. With private space exploration becoming increasingly important, the level of resources these princes will inherit could position them as major players in humanity's expansion beyond Earth. Their wealth could fund missions, develop new technologies, or even establish private space programs. What's certain is that the world will be watching as these three young princes grow into their roles as some of the most wealthy and potentially influential individuals on Earth. Their childhood in golden palaces and their education in the corridors of economic power are preparing them for futures that will likely reshape our understanding of what it means to be wealthy, influential, and economically powerful in the 21st century. As these three young princes continue to mature within their extraordinary circumstances, the world watches with fascination and anticipation. Will they use their unprecedented resources to drive innovation in technology, medicine, and sustainability? Will they become patrons of arts and sciences, funding discoveries that could benefit all humanity? Will they reshape global business practices and create new models for economic development? The answers to these questions will likely define not just their own legacies, but potentially the trajectory of global economics in the 21st century. With great wealth comes great opportunity, and no children in human history have inherited greater wealth or greater potential for positive impact than Prince Salman, Prince Mashur, and Prince Abdulaziz. Their story is still being written, and the world will be watching to see how the richest kids on Earth choose to shape the future of our global economy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.